I mean, you say finally knocked out, but honestly, it's
they've been sitting around the bottom of the table for quite some time.
It's charted territory for Kongdoo Monster. They've been knocked out before.
Yeah, well, that's
and
true.
it very well could happen again today.
It's the leapfrog scenario.
Yeah,
maybe this is the off season.
It's just back and forth, man.
Yeah, it's a bit dangerous. But we are back in Champion Select, and once again, the Rumble going to be banned away. It wasn't necessarily first ban last time. It certainly got seen in our first round.
You know, we call KT the Summer Kings, and Kongdoo Monster, they're just the summer absentees. They're just never there. They play in spring, they depart for a little while, get a nice little break in.
Yeah, it's the conversation for the other side of the table, you know?
Yeah, that's their back and forth.
Yeah, I like
Well, they're going to try to avoid it as best as they possibly can. Had some glimmers of hope there in game number 1 at the start, but it really slipped through their fingers rather quickly as time went on. We'll see what they want to piece together this time as they move over to the blue side.
No Graves ban, which is interesting so far. Kongdoo might be looking for that for Punch early on. Varus going to be taken off the board. A lot of comfort for Sol, but they do not want to try and grab that first round of picks or anything like that. It might mean that we're switching it up on the bottom side of the map. Might be seeing some of these Caitlyn's that have been making a resurgence, or perhaps the Kog'Maw.
I really don't want to see the Kog'Maw from the likes of Ever8.
No.
Kongdoo Monster wants to try to use it, then I think that would be
yeah, all eggs in the Soul basket makes some sense.
Yeah, and if you're going to go all in with a champion and have Soul carry the likes of Kog'Maw, it's pretty much where you want to go. If not something like maybe a Jinx as well with a hyper carry, but the Kog'Maw is a bit more tried and true.
Wow, they're going all in on these 80 carry bans. The Ashe is going to be the final ban here for Kongdoo Monster. LeBlanc, of course, coming in for Ever8. Do not want Edge to hop on a champion that he can certainly go off on, but is explosive, you know? I mean, he's one of those old bombs, you know, where you light the fuse and it's like sometimes it doesn't work and sometimes it blows everyone up.
Sometimes it's a dud.
Yeah, and the dud timing is a little bit higher than you'd like, but however, when he does explode, well, it certainly explodes. But Graves, of course, is going to be the first pickup here for Roach.
Yeah,
going to hand that one over to Punch.
No Lee Sin for Punch, as expected. Would be just adding another game onto the Lee Sin, would be his 6th one. And only has 2 wins so far during this tournament, so they want to avoid that. They give him the Graves some comfort for himself, and there's no way. The hover over the Nidalee, this would be very
played
bold.
Jace jungle, man. He could be doing anything right now.
I mean, he really could, and obviously this makes way more sense than Jace in the jungle, but he had a very good showing on the Lee Sin. So to forego that, I think would be a bit surprising. His mechanics really shine through. They will lock it in the end.
Well, interesting, because this is a matchup that Lee Sins don't necessarily like, especially in early levels. We'll see whether Punch is going to be able to treat Malrung like he was treated in the Jin Air series.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, that is a potentially tough ask. However, has the right champion for it. And here it is. Caitlyn being picked up. So it's like what we were talking about. A few different opportunities now. Just making sure that the safe stand-back wave clear champions have been removed. That utility is now gone. And the Caitlyn locked away there for Sol.
And for Duel here, I think we need to see an ADC picked up here, or else the bans likely will come through from the side of Kog'Maw, or from the side of Kongdoo.
Yeah.
So see what they want to piece together, because taking away the Lulu does throw a wrench in potentially having that Kog'Maw comp come in. Karma is still on the table.
Oh, Jin, of course. The Jin Zyra lane has always been a decent one. We saw Teddy making Jin look completely relevant very recently, but his Jin very, very practiced.
Yeah. I mean, Teddy having, positive score lines with that Jin despite having many losses. That's just the way that it goes when you're on Jin Air.
Haha! See what we did there. Liked it. But
they do lock it in. So now we enter the second round of draft. So they're safe as far as the ADCs are concerned. And I mentioned Karma, but yeah, the Zyra was already locked in here for Ever8. So the Kog'Maw composition was not really going to be viable in any sense. Don't really want to rely on just an Orianna to offer up shields.
True. But remember, there's a massive amount of top lane champions. So I assume, the Cannon going to be the first ban. Has been banned throughout most of this tournament, actually.
Yeah, we have not really seen Cannon available pretty much at all.
Yeah.
And I think for Ever8, you just keep targeting out Roach. Edge had a decent showing there on the Ahri in game number 1, but I don't think he wants to blind pick it. Something like the Syndra is available, so that could be the second ban away here by Ever8.
Remember, yeah, I mean, Vladimir, Syndra, like Aurelion Sol, so many big picks still available.
Actually, that's something Ever8 could do, is they leave up the Syndra, have it blinded by Edge, and then they run the Aurelion Sol into it for Septon.
I would like that. I also like Aurelion Sol in this composition. I mean, the follow-up, if you get one of those massive orbs, stun everyone, is like, and captive audience to, sorry, the curtain call to start off these fights with the Stranglethorns follow-up, like, it's an exciting composition to put Aurelion Sol in for Ever8. But Ahri's going to be the final ban for Ever8, and there goes the dragon. So Kongdoo Monster also identifying the fact that Aurelion Sol would feel pretty good. Can get rid of it. Now Jewel, we'll see what decision he makes for his top laner or mid laner.
I think we still see the Syndra come through for Kongdoo unless Ever8 drafted right here. And if Kongdoo does pick up Syndra, wouldn't be too shocked to see the Vladimir come out for Septon in the mid lane.
Well, this is the thing, right? They can lock in the Gragas pretty happily for Helper. I mean, it's his most comfortable champion this tournament. And then if the Syndra's picked up, they answer with the Vlad. He's probably not going to be picked for the top lane. It's all pretty easy. So Kongdoo may go for a different mid lane choice. Oh, God. Gragas versus Nautilus. What a matchup.
Wow, Talia.
Yeah, so that's going to be picked away from Septon.
Okay, so I'm a bit surprised to see this locked in so confidently here from the side of Edge, but they want to have that global map playmaking ability, because otherwise they don't have much.
Oh, wow.
There's Shen available, so.
I love the idea of a Cassiopeia in this composition, to be honest. Just with the fact that you're lacking consistent damage, Jhin wants to be standing very far back. You're not going to have that champion that's just going to be shooting people constantly. So, getting a Snake Lady in there would certainly be a good option, and they do lock that one away.
I gotta say, I'm very surprised to see that the Syndra not tagged, not even hovered by either of these teams.
Well, with the Vladimir being able to be picked up, just didn't feel comfortable, I guess.
Yeah, so Edge sees the Talia, saw how Septon played it in the latter half of game number 1, says, you know what, I want to try my hand at that. I think I could do that as well. So picks it up for himself. Needs to be on the ball with these Weaver's walls.
And the thing is, Edge won lane against the Talia last time around.
Sure. I mean, getting that early catch on him.
Yeah, but it's just frustrating because it didn't seem to mean anything.
Yeah. I mean, Edge did, like I said, he did have a good performance with that Ahri. Now going to be going a bit deeper as far as the mechanics are concerned with this Talia. And this is where it's really going to come down to his decision-making. Needs to be on point when it comes down to his roaming.
Yeah. And there's more questions now for Septon as well. We mentioned him as a potential weak link, and his laning wasn't great in the last series, but he was certainly able to teamfight very, very well. If this Cassiopeia can pop off this game, then I see Ever8 taking it to match point. But that jungle matchup is going to be so important. If, oh my God, if the Graves gets ahead, it could be another big deal story here for Kongdoo Monster and might be able to turn the momentum around.
That's really what they need. They need punch to come out very strongly here in game number 2. I think that if they lose this, they probably lose in a 3-0. I don't see them coming back from that one. Just with how taxing being at match point already in a best of 5 can be, I don't think that the mentality for Kongdoo Monster would hold up.
They've done it before though, and we'll see whether they can do it again as we go into game number 2 between Ever8 winners and Kongdoo Monster.
So yeah, Ever8 already accruing a decent little fan base here. Like I said, they have been a team for quite some time, but they have never played in a promotion tournament.
Yeah, if they were a team that was trying to promote in Australia, I mean, we are such fans of the underdog that everyone in this crowd would be going for Ever8. That's the kind of story that it feels like. Not to be giving up any biases. Oh, Septon. They're looking for a snake.
Oh, they already got his ghost.
Yeah, and there's the threaded volley as well, so nicely done. Septon may actually have to go back to base here before these minions get down. Nope, decides not to. Realizes that he doesn't want to miss out on too much.
I mean, of all cooldowns to lose, that's definitely the best one. It's the most ideal if you have to use something.
Yeah.
Ghost is short as far as the CD is concerned, but still already going to have a lot of pressure in lane as Edge.
Here it is as well.
We're going to try to get an interrupt here on these Raptors.
Oh god, Helper taking so much damage actually.
Yeah, he's
Titan's
only got a
Wrath
couple
does
potions.
so much damage level 1.
It's pretty absurd. I mean, he's got an innate sustain Helper in lane, so just once they hit that level 2, get the drunken range, and then start having that HP come back rapidly.
Oh god.
But this is still going to be a pretty big stopper for him.
Yeah, it's rough.
I believe he started with his Q to roll out the barrel, so not having the body slam, he's probably have to delay that until level 3. Because Roach with that Nautilus, this has been a tried and true pick for him. And what few victories they do have. Trading
Plants
here.
the poison, wins it. I like that one a lot. Already putting pressure on, that's good.
And that's exactly what Septid needs, actually, because the roam potential from the side of Edge is going to be huge. And especially with the Ghost down here for Septid, being able to respond and go to other lanes is not going to be nearly as easy as it is for Edge. So he needs to command this lane. He needs to force Edge to be nearby and make it so that if he does roam to bottom or to top, that Edge is losing out on a lot, whether it's CS or damage onto his tier 1 turret. So the more commanding Septid can be in this lane, the better the odds are of Ever8 excelling.
Yeah.
Because if the Taliyah gets ahead and then can just roam willy-nilly, you're in for bad times.
And I feel like that's just going to happen with how these champions scale as well. I mean, the wave clear is always going to be in Edge's favor in the mid game, no matter what, just because he just has so much more AoE in order to deal with these mini waves. Well, Septid can get a decent lead, but then he still wants to be buying these scaling items, like the tier, stuff like that, as now Jewel gets that speed boost, lands the snare onto Soul, so evening out that trade a little bit, but boots 4-pot, the classic Jhin start that we've been seeing here in the LCK recently. I like it.
Not going in for the longsword. Thought maybe we'd have that, but now we have a gank in the top lane.
That was a cute interaction as Roach still taking a lot of damage. There's the flash. Marung says, yeah, well, I'll take that. Be absolutely fine. And he may actually have to go back here as well. So teleport going to be down for the Nautilus.
Yeah, this is going to be a really nice turnaround here. I mean, Helper not taken low enough for him to, recall at level 1, goes back up. The innate sustain coming through from the Gragas keeps him healthy and puts him in a position to set up that gank. Really good body slam in the middle of that dredge line. So both summoner spells down for Roach makes him a very big target for Malrong to just have a repeat visit.
And both the Ever8 winners players not having to use any of their summoner spells, so you could expect that Roach is possibly going to get capitalized on, and this time, after using that teleport, it's going to cost him so much more.
You can already see the wraparound on the minimap there from Malrong. He can just go ahead and keep cheating up toward that top side of the map if he so chooses. At the moment, he's clearing out the Raptors.
Yeah. I actually really like it, as now Septid's going to go back to base, probably can afford that tier, and does so. Control ward picked up as well, as Punch just skips his way through. Should be able to find himself a Gromp, but other than that, not a whole lot of options here in the enemy jungle.
He knows that he's got some time to do this freely.
Oh god, look at this pressure. The flash has to be used. There's the flash from Punch, and he gets the heal out of Jewel. Now with that red buff, should be able to lock this one down. There it is. First blood going over to Soul on the Caitlyn, and this is bad news. Kongdoo Monster making a statement early.
Yeah, really good moves here by Punch.
Oh god, Malrung! Can he do it? The exhaust comes in. There it is!
I cursed him.
Oh my god!
I cursed him, I just straight up cursed him. I said it was a good wraparound, he immediately dies.
Hey, no, you were definitely correct. That was just Malrung going full man mode. Or beast mode, should I say. You don't want to make it all sexist, but my god, nice work.
So Punch knew that he could go for that invade, because at best, at the least, they shove back Duel off the turret, they get some free damage, and he takes away the Grom. At best, they come up with the kill like that. Kind of evened it out, made it a bit neutral because he did go down, but he knew that he was able to do this because they saw the scrying plant go off on the top side of the map when Malrong popped it. So they knew that the Lee Sin was hovering around the Raptor pit, which just opened him up for that roam down into the bottom lane. Unfortunately, Lee Sin does quite a bit of damage early on in the game, it turns out, so
and also
Punch
pretty mobile as well. They weren't expecting him to make it there quite so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he cleared the Raptors, he started wrapping around for the Grom take, so he was already making his way into the vicinity. If Punch had stuck around and, was trying to take the Gromp out, they actually would have clashed in the jungle more than likely, but he would have had his bottom lane ready to react, already pushed up to that tier 1 turret. So, fortunately, he gets caught on the retreat. still very early on in the game. No Lulu at level 6, so Wild Growth unavailable to keep him alive, and the shield values from Guga aren't going to be substantial yet, so it goes down. But 1 for 1, Kongdoo still maintain the lead.
Yeah. That being said, the bottom lane not quite as important for Ever8 winners this time around. Of course, we're used to seeing Seoul with these big leads, and it's about what Ever8 are able to do proactively in the mid game. That's what we're looking for from this team to do again now in game number 2. And it's off the back of Malrung, this young jungler that has shown himself time and time again to be capable of going toe-to-toe with at least Punch, but also giving a lot of problems to all of these promotion tournament junglers.
Yeah. I mean, I have to hold my thought here as he goes over the wall.
Level 6 is being gained, means that Punch has to concede. Gets the ward in, and now Edge. He's going to get kicked back. In goes Scepted, makes sure that Edge can't do anything, but no Q to land. Seismic Shove not there either, so Kongdoo Monster do get out with their lives, but good pressure from Ever8.
Yeah, a really good collapse there by Ever8. Helper immediately starting to walk down, so he could be there to respond, maybe even just disengage the fight with the explosive cask. You can see the communication is coming through from this team, and they avoid Malrung going down.
Back ping's coming in. Punch knows that his red buff's going to be a difficult time, but they don't know, but Malrung is up towards his Raptor camp, so he's just going to be doing his red at the same time. Will not get pressured off. Oh, Jewel taking a lot of damage here on this Jhin.
Yeah, headshot into the Piltover Peacemaker. Just ripping through him, and yet again, you can see Soul coming out with a massive CS lead. 24 up at the moment.
And whoa, that's a Warlord's Bloodlust on the Jhin.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's like one of the only ADCs that we still see the Warlords come through on.
Well, now that it's been changed, it makes sense as well because of his crit on his passive.
Yeah. But I mean,
Like
even with the nerfs, it's still going to be the most desirable keystone for you to take.
It's cute. No longer are we seeing the Deathfire Touch, which even after the nerf was still the one of choice for a few weeks there. Oh, reload time, upsetting. Soul wants to get that free headshot, but nope, get in there.
It's always the most frustrating feeling when you're like
I know,
right
it's
outside.
Like,
you're a couple pixels away from getting that headshot off.
Oh yeah, that one too. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the missing of CS, which is what I talk way too much about.
Oh, that's also very frustrating.
Yeah, and you're like reloading. It's like, get the damn bullets in there, man.
It's even worse. It's got to be even worse for the players when you miss something like a cannon minion. No, you just know like everybody in the audience just saw that.
Yeah,
and
hope to God felt awful as well at the same time.
They hope to God that the observer was like looking somewhere else, like in the top lane.
Please no, please no. Well, Scepter now has himself his null magic mantle. You saw it was Edge and Punch once again roaming together down towards the bottom side, but understood that they weren't going to be able to get anything. But yeah, Scepter's still farming things out, trying to collect even more items. Get to that big stage as a Cassiopeia. And Ever8 winners have two of the best Infernal Drake champions in the game. The amount of flat scaling you get on a Jhin and on a Cassiopeia is ludicrous.
Yeah.
So I'd expect them to try and get some pressure on for this Infernal Drake up first as quickly as they can. Of course, I mean, there's no slouches on the side of Kongdoo Monster with Caitlyn and Graves, but nothing compared to Jhin and Cassiopeia. That feels good, man.
Yeah.
You get 3 Infernals with those champions. You're doing numbers that don't make sense.
I mean, Ever8 also have the likes of the Zyra. And you get that added 8% coming through. She already does a stupid amount of damage throughout the duration of a game regularly. So amplify that with an Infernal Drake, and it just becomes absolutely ridiculous. Edge, though, in the mid lane.
Gonna get kicked back. That combo was beautiful. Scepted just yells at him and gets the kill.
I'll have to watch that back. Hopefully we get a replay. I'm not sure how Edge got petrified because it seemed like his back was turned, but maybe
it's called a special delivery.
Yeah, something with the kick interaction, I guess, turns him around so that the petrifying gaze comes through. I honestly think he is dead regardless, but that was a bit interesting to see. But now Ever8 off the backside of that, very nice pick by Malrung. Start up this Infernal Drake.
And their mid-game play is just really, really nice to watch out of Ever8 winners. They seem to know which plays to take and what to get off the back of them as well. They get that pick in the mid lane, transition to the Infernal Drake. We know exactly how much they want it. Helper makes his way down, doesn't even miss out on a minion wave. They have a lot of control.
All right, so let's take a look at this one. So he's facing... Yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah, I think kick makes you face the direction that you get kicked in, no matter what. No matter what your icon actually is.
And Vanderl, if you're watching this, I have another homework assignment for you. I need you to get to the bottom of this this kickback thing.
Oh, there goes the wall as Edge is looking for it. Malrong says, I want to kill Guga, and will do so unless he flashes away and uses his ultimate, which he does, so survives.
Edge, though, in a bad spot.
His boys are taking so much damage from these Twin Fangs. Has to get the flash, but there's Malrong! Picks up the kill once again. Punch is dead. Septed is throwing his fangs, but it's all about this Lee Sin, who grabs himself the double. And we said Ever 8 winners were going to win off the back of this jungler. My God, when it comes to it, he's able to deliver.
And when I was casting with Papa Smithy, I'll have to hold that thought as Ella tries to get the recall off, but finds Soul.
There's all of his buttons going down. That flash from Soul was sexy, but Malrong's going to make his way in. Dashes forward. Nice heal to get the movement speed out of the way of the Q.
Soul would totally chase that in if those plants weren't there. The plants, even with as low as they were, or how much duration they had left, would have offered up enough damage for Malrong to potentially turn that one around.
Yeah, not to mention
back up, but
the slowing ones.
Yeah, otherwise, Soul, definitely, he really wanted to chase in for a kill there. But we'll take another look at this one as the Weaver's Wall comes down. It's a great turnaround yet again. Malrong, right place, right time.
And his decision-making as well, and his communication with Septed at that stage, saying, I'm going to turn onto the Lulu here, don't go too aggressive. As they look like they've got the same brain.
They're really on point. And one of the things that I wanted to mention before we saw Ella get taken out was when I was casting with Papa Smithy earlier on in the week, I said that, even if Ever 8 winners don't make it into LCK, Malrong is definitely a player that can get picked up by pretty much any team that needs a jungler at the moment. Hell, if Kongdoo Monster requalify, they could even tag Malrong and be like, hey, why don't you jump over onto our team? Because he is really gifted. He just turned 17. He's just eligible. But we'll see how Ever 8 are going to handle this situation. Late TP coming through from Helper.
He's going to need to be gifted now as Malrong sets this one up. But there's the curtain call damage onto Guga. Nice knock-up, but Helper picks it up. And look at that control. Septed throws down the miasma. No one's going to be getting across that. And Ever 8 winners just knew exactly what they wanted to do.
Kongdoo Monster, they misjudged the situation. It's not done yet.
Yeah, has to use the collateral damage, gets himself out to safety, but look at this damage. Warrior Enchant complete, and Malrong's going off.
Oh, Soul. It's been a rock and a hard place. They don't want to go for this one, though. Thought maybe Helper would try to commit in the explosive cask. But they'd rather set their sights on that first brick.
Look at this. Jules actually turned around what was a massive CS advantage from Soul with all of this catastrophe that's been happening to Kongdoo Monster. He'll be able to pick up first brick, Soul Gold, and he'll have a lead down here towards this bottom side.
I mean, up until recently, the only item that Jewel had was Ninja Tabi.
Yeah.
It was the only thing that was in his inventory, and a lot of people will criticize that and be like, oh, why, he has no damage, blah, 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 blah. This Jin's going to do nothing. He doesn't really need to do anything. He just needs to offer up a curtain call. He's playing utility at the moment. The slow up on the shots will come through. The final crit will still hit for decent damage this early on in the game. But really, it's all about surviving the laning phase with the Ninja Tabi, which is exactly what he's done. He did die once, has those 2 assists coming in, but he's mitigating the damage that Soul's able to output, especially when those headshots come in. But now he gets a big purchase. The Yomu's Ghostblade's completed. He's got another longsword on top of it, and he still has that mitigation from the boots. So honestly, Jewel bringing back the CS, he's in a fantastic spot.
Oh, certainly is. And I like that you brought that up too, because the Cassiopeia is where the consistent damage comes out of. I mean, Septed is what they're going to be utilizing in late-game teamfights if we make it there. Yeah. So Jewel is mostly just utility.
Yeah, you don't draft Jhin if you want consistent damage. That's why the Zyra is there. The Zyra will do more consistent damage than the Jhin. He'll do burst
and lock down. Do the most damage in this game, to be honest. I mean, Zyras can do that. Pretty silly, depending on what he builds, of course.
I mean, we've seen it in the past, Zyra beating everybody else in games as far as the damage is concerned. So.
Yeah. Not opting for the Sorcerer's Shoes, which is the true test of how bloodthirsty you can be on the Zyra, is Malrong. Oh my God, he's so aggressive.
I mean, this is looking like Punch versus Empty.
Yeah. And Malrong's actually making it look a little bit easier because this is the opposite matchup.
I was going to say he's arguably better than Empty as well, so.
Yeah. It's working pretty damn well as now there's the curtain call. Guga. All too easy. And Ever 8, how do they do this every single time? Like 16 minutes into the game, they just know what to do between 15 and 25 minutes to get themselves the advantages they need.
I mean, it was so close back and forth in game number 1, but now this is just a clear-cut lead for Ever 8. 4,000 gold up at the moment. They are in such a strong spot. There's another dragon spawning up. Only an ocean, but at this point, you're just collecting them for stacks. You got the Infernal Drake. There's a mountain on the table. That'd be very nice, but, you know, be ready for that Elder Dragon if it even reaches that point of the game.
And ladies and gentlemen, we will be petitioning Malrong to ask him what he had for breakfast this morning, because I know all of you probably want to have whatever that is. Because, dang, this guy is going off. Looking even better than he was when we saw him before, and he was beasting against CJ earlier on. Get themselves into this game.
What if the secret is something, like, really disgusting? You have to eat something that's, you have to eat, like, a live spider, and then you play like a god.
That'd make sense. You know, that sounds like pretty badass.
I would never do it. I'd rather just be
maybe not
mediocre.
A live spider, but Sol, he's going to get stunned up. There it is, the chain CC as Malrong flashes forward. There's the kickback, Jewel grabs it, and Guga, the Q comes in, Malrong wants it as Edge is here at the same time, but he has bitten off more than he can chew this time around.
I mean, you see the Cougar as low as he is, and it's one of those, you know, my mind's telling me no, but my body...
My body is telling me yes.
Yeah, so he goes for it, can't quite get the kill. If you come up with that double, then I'd say it's probably pretty damn worth it, but the fact that he had to use the flash and still dies in the end and doesn't get the kill onto the Lulu means that it's a bit of a misplay there from Malrong. But everybody that's played Lee Sin has been in this situation, and they would 100% make the same call.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also just, you know, not thinking, not being conscious of the Weaver's Wall has not been used until this point, and then suddenly Edge arrives, and he knows he's dead at this, you know, at this juncture. He's just like, okay, you know what? I kind of screwed up.
Yep. It seems like, Malrong, are you okay? Rush of blood to the head?
They're still fine. They're still are very comfortable in this game. Lead is massive for 18 minutes in.
And 100% kill contribution for Malrong on this Lee Sin, now going towards the Black Cleaver for the Snowball Lee Sin build. And he was already doing a heck of a lot of damage, given how accelerated he was, and he's only going to continue to be doing that as well. If
he does it like 6 more times without at least trading a kill, then Kongdoo start climbing back into this game. But if the pace remains the same, then Everate, without, you know, botching something, without going for something like a 50-50 Baron, I don't see them losing this lead that they've accrued for themselves. Stranger things have happened. It'd be a very big turnaround for Kongdoo Monster if they could pull it off, and would definitely rejuvenate them as far as their mentality and their motivation goes.
Oh my god, look at these guys just wandering around next to each other because they know that absolutely nothing's going to happen. Identical item builds. There's a gentleman's agreement down here towards the bottom side. They basically have identical CS as well. I mean, slight advantage for Helper, but he was moving on out. It's going to be only about 13, but who cares? Their tanks barely even need to get farm. Need to get as many items as they can, be tanky. But right now, still not able to hurt each other. Punch is moving up towards the top side, and we may actually find ourselves some action. As Ghostblade is popped, Jewel doesn't land the stun. Now Scepter looking to try and do some damage here. No blue buff. Kongdoo Monster playing very defensively. Now that tower on the bottom side of the map could be pressured here by Roach, so Helper needs to make his way down. Should get there in time. But Helper has a free teleport available if he wants to get to any fight. Just can't quite justify it at this point.
That's some field man right there. You want to go ahead and just chip away at that turret, knock it down, but doesn't want to overstay. There is no vision for Kongdoo Monster on that lower side of the map. No forward vision inside the enemy jungle. And
here we are once again. Guga's going to get tagged by the Q as Malrong's just waiting for his opportunity. Oh my god, that's how you do it. The trust in his AD carry. Malrong knows that he doesn't even need to follow it in there, and that last bullet did so much damage.
Calculated to a T. 612, I think, was the number that popped Guga in the end. Didn't use the Wild Growth. Would have kept him alive.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have thought that I'd be dying it with that bullet anyway, and that was so beautifully aimed.
Can't, as Kongdoo Monster, you can't afford to make assumptions like that. You need to be better safe than sorry at every single turn. So as soon as you go, you know, about 50% HP and there's one shot left in the chamber for that Jhin, you best be popping that damn Wild Growth. They can't afford to be making mistakes like this. Everate, just keep finding picks.
Who has more AoE?
Neither of them will ever die.
Yeah, no, they're not dying. It's just the battle for the
I already had this tested. Vanderil made me a video.
Oh, nice.
Of Maokai and Nautilus duking it out. And they literally will not kill each other.
All right. How long will it take? Just using all of your abilities on cooldown, everything hitting, you can just last forever. Is that how it works?
I mean, if they auto attack, it's 100% like impossible for them to die. The base rejuvenations at the full item builds, at least at that stage of the game. But even with a Spirit Visage, it's like way too much that they cannot auto each other to death. And even with abilities, you're still talking at like a 20-minute fight.
And you're also talking abilities that are only going to help them regenerating.
Yes.
As well.
I mean, Gragas is going to have the base damages coming in. Roach has way too many shields that the Gragas can't get through quickly.
Yeah.
So it's actually just a fight that will not end.
Let's make it happen. Come on, Roach. Roach and Helper on the island.
The closest that we've gotten to a fight like that actually occurring in a game, obviously this is a limited memory, and I can't think, and I don't watch every single region, but I'm thinking of Team Impulse versus Team Liquid at Madison Square Garden in 2015 with Quas versus Impact.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I think it was Scion versus Malphite, I think was the matchup, and they almost, I think Quas almost killed Impact, and then they backed off.
That's the argument that we should raise for having double play-by-play tricasts as well. Because, I mean, you need to breathe halfway through that one
That's
if you're going to
true.
be casting it. You also probably don't want to watch us. Here it is. Here it is. Come on, guys. Keep going. Don't be distracted by the minions. You've got a 1v1 duel.
They want gold. That's the most important thing. They don't get gold for hitting each other. If they were just punching bags full of money, then they'd be happy to go ahead and duke it out.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But this isn't Mario Party, Achilleos. That's not how that works. You know that game where you run up behind each other and you tug the little bag, get the little money thing?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say, do I know Mario Party? I was like, what?
Yeah, no, that game in Mario Party. And it looks really silly because it's on a
What
Nintendo
backwards
64.
society do you think I grew up in?
What the heck?
I lost
Malrung
so many
just safeguard to a Zyra seed? Oh, no, it was a plant.
It was
okay,
a
that was
plant
a bit of a bug.
Yeah. I've lost many a friend to Mario Party in my day.
Yeah, it's worse than Monopoly, man.
Yeah. Did a charity stream the one time where we played 20 rounds of every single Mario Party game.
Oh, God.
And I think at that point, what are they on now, 10 or something?
Yeah, at least.
I think this was 20 rounds of every game up until 8.
Ugh.
It was whatever the Wii U one, or the Wii one was. It was before the Wii U.
Yeah.
It was a very long evening, to say the least.
Petrifying Gaze was scary, but not very effective. You know, that's the first time I've seen the animation of the face coming out so perfectly.
Because usually there's something.
Normally there's something actually happening, you know?
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. Okay, so this is going to go down very, very quickly.
Things are going to get saucy. Ella's already gatekeeping here, trying to stop them out, but the Weaver's Wall comes down.
Yeah, Ella actually caught on the wrong
This
side of it. Yeah,
DTP.
teleport's coming in, and they're fish in a barrel now. Everyone trying to get out. The first 2 bullets land, but now has to be cancelled. Kongdoo wants to get themselves to safety.
Honestly, so far, a win for Kongdoo. They don't lose anybody.
They don't.
do
Weaver's
have that
Wall's
Weaver's Wall
down, though.
But they get
and
the
that
TP
is-
away from Helper, which is huge.
Oh, Malrung might be caught. Death Charge comes in. He's knocked up and destroyed. Nice knockback. As there's the double knock-up at Roach. Look at how incredibly tanky is Scepter. Oh, my God. Might actually get the
There's no
flank
Petrifying
here.
Gaze. He doesn't have the ultimate.
There is a lot of space for him to work with, though, as Roach, gets the flash out of Scepted. Dredgeline doing work, and now the one pick onto the big, buffed-up member of Ever 8 means that they should be able to pressure down this turret quite nicely,
This
despite
is a
the lack of
huge opening
minions.
for Kongdoo. They get the turret in the end. The seismic shove on the Helper.
Yep, Jewel actually taking a lot of damage there as well.
Oh.
As Scepted gets himself over to the side. Helper trying to get in there as Edge is going to get taken down. Helper's still alive. He's got a GA anyway. Who even minds? As Scepted's running so fast, but bit off more than he can chew.
With a
So
shield!
it's caught. Oh my God, the regen from the
That's a
twin
quadra.
bang. That's the quadra kill. And Punch is running for the hills. Scepted can't catch up, but my God, the snake's going off.
Oh, what looked like a big opportunity for Kongdoo to at least get an objective without losing anything turns into an absolute tragedy as they nearly get ace, and that's going to be Ever 8 turning right back over onto the Baron where this all began. Malrung in that span. Short respawn timers here, just 25 minutes in, comes back up. They'll take this down. There's absolutely nothing Punch can do. And Kongdoo, they gain an inch, but they lose like 5 miles.
Scepted's positioning here was just so ballsy. Helper as well gets in there for as many buttons as he can do and then survives. But just right when that ultimate comes back off cooldown.
Whew, the money Petrifying Gaze there.
Yeah, and the Seraph's Embrace timing was so beautiful.
I mean, it looked like he was going to get bursted down, but yeah, popping the shield right at the crucial moment. Now he's coming back into this with a Void Staff. He just full buys this.
Outright, my God.
Yeah, he's just going to get the full purchase of that one real quick.
Just casual outright Void Staff, don't worry. And he already had
6-0-2.
Yeah, exactly. Already had a 40 CS advantage as well. Oh, God. And when it's a Cassiopeia, you accelerate her. She's got an extra item slot. All those silly boots users. No. Snakes don't need to worry about boots.
I mean, it's that much more money that you don't have to spend on boots. It's 1,100 gold, I believe, for Sork boots.
Yeah, true.
So.
Oh, God, everyone just standing in traps, getting shot. But Sol just doesn't quite have the damage. 2-item Caitlyn has never necessarily been the biggest one, so this item, sort of damage trough, that Kongdoo Monster are in it at exactly the wrong time.
I mean, 2-item Caitlyn's fine, but you wanted this, like, 8 minutes ago? 20-minute mark? That's about the time that you want to have this coming through.
But you're feeling good if your Caitlyn's at, like, 3-4, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's when you're like, well, even if my opponent's on 3 or 4, I'm still able to do far more safe damage than you.
Yeah. Needed the Caitlyn to get those kills coming through. Picked up 2 of the 4 that he's participated in. Had it been the other way around, we could see a very powerhouse Sol here.
Yeah.
But this hasn't been the case. Hasn't been able to have that dominating CS lead like we saw from game 1, like we saw at the start of this game. It's really fallen away, and Duel has taken off on the Jhin.
Well, Helper's just like, I'm helping! Look at me!
I'm doing stuff.
Yeah! And Everett just continuing the pressure here in the mid lane.
I mean, they honestly do have to respect his push because he's got those Baron-empowered minions with him.
Yeah. Decided to go for the Frozen Mallet, not the... Sorry, not the Frozen Mallet. The Frozen Heart, instead of getting himself his Claw. So not going to be doing that extra Sheen damage. Iceborne Gauntlet does help you a little bit in the split push.
There you have it, 10,000 golden lead.
Aha!
Everett.
Finally happened.
Ah, they shrunk it. Now it's less than 10,000.
Oh no!
No, Everett.
Valorant's going to be able to get at least an extra 26 gold from this.
If Everett loses this,
nah, it's 25.
I will give every member of Kongdoo Monster $10.
Whoa!
If they lose this game.
All right,
if
well,
Everett loses this game.
Someone's got to make sure that they hold you to that.
Including the
I guess
coaches.
It's going to have to be me.
I'll give it to MC. I'll give it to Zephyr.
All right.
Because they will deserve a little bit of a bonus after clawing their way back in.
I feel like you could probably offer up more than $10, man.
I could probably make a bet for about $1,000 per player.
Yeah, let's do that.
And be comfortable on it.
Yeah, let's do that.
I don't want to do that.
All right, lock it in. We just shook on it, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't, but I could have said that, and honestly, no one would have been the wiser.
That's true.
Would still have been your word against
There's no
mine,
video
Achilles.
record. It's all just audio.
Yeah.
Which is not admissible.
You've been watching too much Suits.
I've actually never seen that show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I've heard good things, but I don't know. I've never been it's on USA, right? I think it's the channel that makes that.
I have no idea.
Produces it. I've never been a big fan
Netflix,
of their shows.
Yeah, that's good.
I think it originates from there. It's the same network that is like Monk and Psych, I think. And I never really got into those.
I never really know. I'm from Australia. I'm oblivious. I'm just like, it's a TV show. Nice.
It's like bizarre these days when something isn't made by Netflix.
Well, not made by Netflix, but just
produced by them. You know, like
Yeah.
a Netflix original series. You know, you hear about a TV show. You know, I guess maybe not Game of Thrones, but you hear about a TV show and you're like, oh, is that a Netflix show? And they're like, no, it's on TBS. You're like, what's a TBS?
What is a TBS?
They're the ones that do. I thought they only do E-League.
I did. Well, Seismic Shove helps Edge clear things out in the mid lane, but you can see Scepted, he's just farming his way towards ridiculous amounts of items. I think he believes now only in purchasing outright items, so he may not be going back to base for quite some time until he can buy himself a hat. If you can afford it now, then that would be ridiculous, but probably needlessly large rod to be picked up by the Snake. Now with an Infernal Drake and everything else on top of it, Scepted is a beast. Even has room for a book, so he can do some light reading while he's waiting to assassinate someone. That's too many sticks, though. This guy's got 4 staves. Like, what are you doing, man? Just make up your mind.
He's going to do like a Power Rangers thing, combine all the staffs into one super staff.
It's like one of those people that are way too obsessed with shoes, you know? It's like, I need 15 different pairs of shoes for all sorts of scenarios.
I think I own 4 pairs of shoes.
think I own like
two of them are for
something like that. It's pathetic.
One is for running, 2 are for business, and then I have like a pair of slip-on sneakers that I can use if I need to run out to the store.
I mean, I have to admit, the reason why I don't have very many shoes is because I just moved here and haven't bought anything.
This is also fair.
Yeah.
I've been here for a year. I don't feel the need of
I feel you, man.
pairs of shoes.
I think that Scepted with... Oh, wait, his name's Scepted, which kind of sounds like Scepter. Which means that he's just a sticks enthusiast. I got it now.
Perfect.
I understand. And it's working out for him because he's currently very far ahead and carrying this game for his team. And the reason why we're talking about stuff like that is because there's a 10,000 gold lead and Ever 8 winners aren't necessarily doing much with it. Jewel just crit for 2,000 damage on that red buff. So we're getting to that stage of the game, Achilles. The Jin's starting to do some work.
He's been doing work. Duel's in a very nice spot.
Yeah, that's
Kongdoo
true.
monster. They're holding on for dear life, but
well, they're still getting so pressured. We've got 25 seconds on this Baron, and they do have one scrying orb up, but they don't have things like the Hawk Shot to always give them that vision of the area. So once that scrying orb is down, then there's no opportunities Kongdoo monster to even check this without face checking through Ever 8. Because they've got so much control of these minion waves, just feel like this will be an opportunity for Ever 8 to either set up a trap or take a free Baron. Ooh, Sol. Not wrong. Well, they just don't even have their jungler. Who even cares? Just going to take this one down. There's the scrying orb, but I feel like the damage has been done here. Teleport's coming in. Weaver's Wall just says, well, I can see it now as Sol's going to get caught. There's the stun. Help against the double belly bot. Massive ultimate. Guga's taken down. Jewel grabs the double. And the curtain call was so strong. The flash, the Q, punch. He's going to get taken down.
That's the
Scepted moves all the way over looking for Edge, but nice double knockup. Means that they are going to be able to save themselves just for the moment, but Helper just bops him in the face. Roach now the last man standing, and that's going to be at least inhibitors, if not exactly right, the game.
It should be the game as they pile in. I mean, still 33 minutes, 30 seconds out here from Punch, who went down very early on in the fight, but they should be able to shove this all the way through. The wave was already prepped here in the top lane. You can see as they go onto this inhibitor. 10 seconds on the window here for Sol.
This is a next-level performance from Ever 8 winners. This is not the team that we saw in their first series against Jin Air. It's not even the game that we saw when they 2-0'd CJ. They are well and truly ready to get themselves into the LCK. They look so hungry. This man you can see diving underneath the turrets is the one that certainly is, as well as he gets exhausted, is still going to survive. There's Punch just overreaches for it. Roach is down so low. Scepter's just killing people for fun now because this is over. Ever 8 take down Kongdoo and bring it to match point.